목요일날 오후 5시 41분이 지나고 있습니다. 오늘은 제가 연천을 책을 잔뜩 가지고 서해상 가려고 가다가 보니까 연천차가 왔는데, 세상에 서해산 쪽에 가니까 비가 찔끔찔끔 오는 것 같아서 뭔데다 그럼 연천까지 가보자고 그랬더니 연천 가니까 또 비가 와가지고 잠깐만 갔다가 1시간 정도 있다가 다시 왔습니다. 오늘은 땅을 그렇게 밟지 못했는데, 자, 저녁 먹기 전에 또 성경이 아닌 일반 책들을 좀 읽겠습니다. The 4-hour work week. Escape the 9 to 5. Live anywhere and join the new rich. This is the fun part. The element. How finding your passion changes everything. If I were to lose the use of my hands, he said to me, my life would be over. Meditation, the first and the last freedom. And when you started enjoying those blissful moments, your capacity to retain them for longer periods arise. Spotlight on the USA. The chili in this contest is especially spicy. Each recipe must include at least one fire ant. Slake. Delivering happiness, a path to profits, passion, and purpose. Okay, cool. If you are not first, you are last. Get a few straightforward books on money and learn everything you can about the topic. Verbal advantage. 10 easy steps to a powerful vocabulary. Commiserate. To sympathize, feel or express empathy, show sorrow or pity for. Commiserate. digital at scale, the playbook you need to transform your company. The structure, process, and the system support the change in behavior demanded of me. Dictionary of International Economics, Public Utility, an industry that supplies essential public services, often as a monopolist. In and out of the burger, a behind-the-counter look at the fast food chain that break all the rules, a far cry from the outlying areas where it had traditionally planted its crossed palm trees. In and out was increasingly moving, at least as far as its locations were concerned, from the outside in. The politically incorrect guide to American history. The Puritans didn't steal Indian lands. The Soviet experiment, a model for America, as was far from the only American intellectuals to make a surgeon into the future. Lesson summary. The Plains states have fertile lands as well as dry, rocky areas. The 2,548 best things anybody ever said. The highlight of my childhood was making my brother laugh so hard that food came out of his nose. Secret of the Millionaire Mind. Mastering the inner game of wealth. First, conditioning. Half of one you hear. That's so touching. Your roadmap for success. You can get there from the here. What Elmer did with me, I have tried to pass on to others. Lead with a story. A guide to crafting business narratives that captivate, convince, and inspire. A great metaphor also serve as a catalyst to start conversation among employees. So many setup stories can grow and surround the idea embodied in your metaphor. Spotlight on the USA. It's a 2-day round trip and you must bring lots of water. Some people have strange jobs. Understanding the materials and the technical process used in printing is also very important. The age of access. Digital relationships pull us to the immediate direction, inviting us to play such a variety of roles that the very concept of an authentic self with knowable characteristic recede from view. up your score. Well, there's 3 and 2, and then there's 6 and 1. So try all 4 combination. 10 steps in writing the research paper. Would you need a markup punctuation at that point in your sentence if there were no quotation marks? Developing your influence from anywhere in the organization. Write below how you can express your appreciation and respect for all of your co-workers. Korea Travel Guidebook. The Bay 101, offering the best nightscapes of the vibrant and elegant marine city. This fancy skyscraper houses several dining options, including the rooftop bar, which is open until late at night. Vibrant. Breaking Night, a memoir of forgiveness, survival, and my journey from homeless to Harvard. To get my mind off things, we'd do something absolutely crazy. Go out for a good meal at a decent restaurant with good service, dressed in our underwear. How to fail at almost everything and still win the big. Kind of the story of my life. I'm a natural optimist. I'm a natural optimist. But the reality was that the spasmodic dysphonia had no cure, and I was likely to go the rest of my life without ever again experiencing a conversation. The Dip, a little book that teaches you when to quit and when to stick. Switch lines if a shorter one appears. Show me how to survive. Give small rescue pups. Nice girls don't get the corner piece. 101 unconscious mistakes women make that sabotage their careers. She allowed this to continue for several minutes, then told her cousins she wanted to change it, but not the why. Making business presentation, how to deliver winning message, connect with the audience and what they want to hear. Brilliant Living, 31 Insight to Creating an Awesome Life. Insight 19, Personal accountability is your point of differentiation. Master your time, master your life. The breakthrough system to gain more results faster in every area of your life. He said that he had just been at a 3-day meeting in San Diego with several other top executives. A meeting that ended with a long present dinner at an expensive restaurant. 12 and a half, leveraging the emotional ingredients necessary for building success. At the same time, I wouldn't beat myself up. For not checking with the bookkeeper. The 80-20 principle, the secret to achieving more with less, making a deep and fruitful alliance. The road to success is always under construction. Men give away nothing so freely as their advice. What to say when you talk to yourself. Powerful new techniques to program your potential for success. What a child thinks about himself will affect how well he does in school, the kind of friends he chooses, how well he gets along with others, how he deals with the problems of teenage expectation, how he keeps himself in control when peer group pressure encourage him to take the wrong path, the kind of mate that he will eventually choose, the kind of career he'll follow, and how well he will do in every big and small area of his life. The Way of the Superior Man, a spiritual guide to mastering the challenges of women, work, and sexual desire. Sexual energy is at the root of your bodily force of life and your relationship to ravishment rebuilds your relationship to life altogether. This is also true of your woman. If your woman is afraid to surrender completely and receive your loving in all of her parts, she will also be afraid to surrender completely and receive the loving of the divine through her. She will feel essentially empty and to seek to be filled with the love of food, shopping, social events, and conversation. change anything. The new science of personal success. By making a one-time decision and then walling themselves up from these risky devices, they made their crucial moments far easier to handle. The 100 Simple Secrets of Happy People. Go visit your neighbor. Front porches are making a comeback because most of us would like the chance to venture outside our front door and meet the people on our street. Greater community interaction can increase happiness by almost 30%. Expert to understanding the path to mastery. The stakes are high. The stakes are high, and I'm terrified. How do I decide what to do? The room where it happened. We looked at China's election-related efforts as part of one of the broadest influence operations ever undertaken, far broader than what Democrats and the media obsessed over in 2016. Spoke. Science tackled the afterlife. There are said to be people so debilitating sensitive to infrasound that even the very low levels of it that come up the ocean can make them nauseous. At any rate, it's not the sort of situation where you can set up a speaker and inflict mental and physical discomfort on demand. How to get one you want and want one you have. A practical and spiritual guide to personal success, removing the 12 blocks. When we are experiencing one of the 12 blocks to personal success, no matter how much we feel them, they do not go away. The dance of life, the other dimension of time. Normally, a weekend was enough. Niche. The missing middle and why business needed to specialize to survive. Think about what happened at HBO. Rework. Ignore this book and your own panel. They don't need heavy direction. Hire a manager of one. Managers of one are people who come up with their own goals and executed them. Food rules. On eaters the manual. Don't eat breakfast cereals that change the color of the milk. Choose yourself, be happy, make millions, live the dream. But I remember vividly almost every comic and book I read about Greek myths from when I was 6. From the very first comic, the Legion of Superheroes had to go back in time and stay with Clark's parents in Smallville to every comic afterward. strategies of the Serengeti, where having the right strategy is a matter of life and death. Strategies of the hippopotamus, being in the right place. They have thick dark skin which is almost hairless, and this barrel-shaped giant is supported by short but stout legs. With four toes encased in rounded hooves. You can heal your life. You can heal your life. I'm enthusiastic. I'm enthusiastic about life and filled with energy and the enthusiasm. Unbeatable mind. For the resiliency and mental toughness to succeed at an elite level. The unbeatable mind way is to elevate team mastery to the same level of importance as personal mastery because they are intimately linked. The legacy of Steve Jobs, 1955 to 2011. A tribute from the pages of Fortune magazines. The decision to go without pay has served me well. My life had a screaming skydive. I looked at him and slowly started to nod. Speak with competence, overcome self-doubt, communicate clearly, and inspire your audience. Pauses allow the audience to process their thought and respond. How to become CEO. The rules for rising to the top of any organization. Find and fill the data gaps. Don't be misled. Don't be misled by the clever articulation of bright people in the company who only talk to each other and never leave the office. Get the facts. Talk to customers and users. Get the facts. The ABCs of success. There were many guys in school who were far better athletes than me, but they quit. Going solo, the extraordinary rise and surprising appeal of living alone. The problem L discovered was that advertisers insisted that singles didn't identify primarily as singles and couldn't be targeted that way, except by dating services. Smarter living, thrive. Prepare any last dishes. The trusted advisor. All but a dozen got categorized, which means they had statistically isolated the historic disagreement about the election. The $1 million region to change your mind. One change will pave the way for the next, creating the opportunity for you to grow. Happiness is an inside job, practicing for a joyful life. Here's a story. I was traveling on the Metroliner Express train between Washington, D.C. and New York City one morning, and although it was early and I had bought several newspapers I wanted to read, not long into the trip I felt an enormous wave of exhaustion come over me. You can have an amazing life in just 60 days. Working with thousands of individuals around the world, I've observed that whatever people condemn, they actually tend to create, grow to them, or become. In other words, if there are parts of yourself you disown, you are likely to attract these qualities in others. Disown. The next decade, where we've been and where we are going. U.S. compliance being an unintended empire. Each country needed the United States for its own reasons. Secrets of great rainmakers. The salesperson may get complacent, nonchalant. The salesperson may get complacent, nonchalant, overconfident. Think and Grow Rich. This book could be worth $1 million to you. along with the important factors of subconscious mind and the faculty of the creative imagination, which constitute the sending and receiving set of your mental broadcasting machinery. Consider now the principle of autosuggestion. Autosuggestion, which is the medium by which you may put into operation your broadcasting station. While we sleep, unlocking the power of sleep and the dreams. There are no simple answers. There are no simple answers, certainly none that science can or perhaps should offer. Additionally, cruel tendril of an already heinous condition. How to be useful. A beginner's guide to not hating work. Your boss is less likely to promote you if he doesn't already have someone on staff who can do your job as well as you can. The one thing, the surprisingly simple truth behind the extraordinary results. This is, but don't let that stop you. Who can you trust with your money? Get the help you need now and avoid dishonest advisors. Be wary of any discrepancies you discover or a lack of desire on the potential advisor's part to provide you with requested information. How to click with people, the secret to better relationship in business and in life. Block 2, hitting an impasse. One of two things create an impasse. Either there's no plan in place or someone reaches an undesirable decision. To get past this stumbling block, focus on how you got there and use that information to focus on how to move forward. Maybe you should talk to someone. What not to say to a dying person. That's not a thing, Julie says. She's talking about a co-worker who had a miscarriage. A fellow cashier at Trader Joe's, and how another co-worker, trying to console her, said, everything happens for a reason. This one just wasn't meant to be. outsmart your brain, why learning is hard and how you can make it easy. These beliefs about intelligence are false. Getting things done, the art of stress-free productivity. Let's say it's 10:26 a.m. Monday and you are in your office. You've just ended a half-hour unexpected phone call with a prospective client. You have 3 pages of scribbled notes from the conversation. There's a meeting scheduled with your staff at 11, about half an hour from now. You were out late last night with your spouse's parents and are still a little frayed around the edges. You told your father-in-law you'd get back to him about what? Frayed. Learned optimism, how to change your mind and your life. But as you have seen in earlier chapters, there is no shelter from pessimism and its grim offspring, depression. Proven instructional techniques for school success. An interesting finding of this trial was demonstrated during the open-label, non-blind screening phase. The art of thinking clearly. The probability that I will get stuck in a jam on a particular day is not greater than the probability that one will occur. Meditation to heal your life. Every day I listen for one new idea that will improve the quality of my life. Inner work always improves the quality of our lives. Something for nothing. They learn how to use those documents to apply for welfare, unemployment benefit, disability payments, and free services, all of which are to be paid by taxpayers. Successful time management. Learn to eliminate time-wasting behaviors. Ask questions about timing, problems and challenge, expectation, new opportunities, the current service level of your firm, and a host of other issues that are service and sales oriented. The platinum rule. Relators, when in training for a job, favor slower, hands-on coaching by a warm, patient human being. The vegetarian myth, food justice and sustainability. He only used numbers that supported his point. Unwritten rules. The 6 skills you need to get promoted to the executive level. After each review, she met with the International Division's finance director to dig into the subsidiaries' financial performance and the budget. How to think like a CEO. Send out press release about your department as appropriate. Marketing made simple. A step-by-step story brand guide for any business. The biggest mistake people make are using too much text. Make sure to have the PDF laid out so the text flows and easy to read. The business of design, balancing creativity and profitability. There were also the usual people in the 40s and 50s, which was the international style, although I did work with Bill. The skinny rules, the simple, non-negotiable principles for getting to sin. Half a tablespoon ground flaxseed. Financial freedom, a proven path to all the money you'll ever need. You can optimize your money by using the right accounts in the right way and to their maximum benefit. Men, women, and the relationships. Making peace with the opposite sex. Shifting focus is also a very powerful problem-solving technique. Top 30 greatest speeches in Britain. Now this means using everything at our disposal. Our diplomatic networks, our aid budget, our political relations, our military and security cooperation, and yes, supporting in those countries and elsewhere the building blocks of democracy, like the rule of law and the free media. Time power, a proven system for getting more done in less time than you ever thought possible. The material looks wonderful on paper. But it has no relevance to the real world. Be the hero. 3 powerful ways to overcome challenges in work and life. What's that? Asked Jeff, concerned. Your $1 million dream. Regain control and be your own boss. Link your dream to practical business possibilities. Identify your skills and motivation. Create an effective business plan. Use Twitter and Facebook as powerful business tools. Find the funding to support your business. The future of money. Even in an economy facing deflation, this would make it feasible to drive the real interest rate low or even negative in inflation-adjusted terms. The rare find, spotting exceptional talent with everyone else. There was room to add more artists for Big Machine, and perhaps a need to wrap up some contract that weren't working out so that more slots could be opened for new acts slot. The desert giant. Harvest is a time of celebration because there is good saguaro food to eat, and soon the rains will come. The year in Tech 2022 on Earth, private economic activity has long tied together people whose states are at odds. Age wave, how the most important trend about time will change your future. An ingenious solution to this dilemma, referred to as ECHO, Elder Cottage Housing Opportunity Housing, or Granny Flat, initially sprouted in Australia and then moved to the British Isle. It has now taken root. It has now taken root in a few spots in the United States. Love for the leadership, the new way to lead in a fear-based world. Jerry embodies the principle of servant leadership more than CEO I know. The most important thing, uncommon sense for the thoughtful investor. Every once in a while, someone make a risky bet on an improbable or uncertain outcome and end up looking like a genius. but we should recognize that it happened because of luck and boldness, not skill. Boundaries potential. Transform your brain, unleash your talents, reinvent your work in midlife and beyond. I was 76 years old when it started. I had my art, which had replenished me emotionally and earned me a little money. Now I wanted to give something back. In a sense, it was the payback time. Start. How to gain your billions on the way. Never ever, never ever lie to anyone. The Steve Jobs of the way. As I understand it, the VP was out of a job. Out of a job. He's no longer working at the Apple. Life per the span. Life per the span. Evidence of the not obviousness drive our work. Drive our work. Leave no stone unturned. Spare no effort to achieve your objective. Subliminal, how your unconscious mind rules your behavior in groups and out groups. In groups and out groups. All groups develop a way of living with a characteristic code and belief. Belief. The fairy Bible. Fairy gold, however, may not be what it seems and may turn to dust or smoke when taken into moral realms. Practical wisdom, the right way to do the right other things. The only question in people's mind seems to be, will we get test scores up, and can we afford to offer these rewards to everybody? Brand the real. How smart companies live their brand promise and inspire fierce customer loyalty. A community of Twitterers is a Twitterverse. Absence of mind. He says, I think that is profoundly mistaken. Profoundly mistaken. And he says there is no such thing as the scientific world. Korean perceptions of the United States, a history of their origins and formation. Next, he introduced the religious life of Americans. A sense of urgency. Usually is very active out in the open or behind the scenes, can be highly disruptive. Walk the walk, the number one rules for real leaders. The workers even fought with one another so fiercely that the national headquarters of the United Auto Workers had to seize control of the Fremont branch. Walk the walk. Don't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff. Simple ways to keep the little things from taking over your life. They won't feel like they have to walk around on eggshells. If by some chance your plans have to change, finally the people around you will be more relaxed too. Unplug every day. 365 ways to log up and live better. Go on a hike and look as far ahead into the distance as the eye can see. Go on a hike. Proper people rarely succeed unless they have fun in what they are doing. How to get control of your time and your life. Discover how to set your priorities, manage your life, and achieve your goals. How to build your willpower. Don't let fear get in your way. Lend me your ears, greatest speeches in history. I decline to accept the end of man. I believe that man will not merely endure, he will prevail. He will prevail. Making the most out of every day, regardless of what life throws you. Let it go already. The mind is slow in unlearning what it has been long in learning. Control your destiny or someone else at will. Competence. How winning streak and losing streaks begin and end. When she returned to London, she too was laid off. Rise of the robot, technology, and the threat of a jobless future. The top 5% is largely made up of professionals, and knowledge workers with at least a college degree. Leadership lesson of Crazy Horse, the power of four. We must remember that there is more to life than a job or a career, and there is more to a person than the position he or she holds in an organization. The brand business entered life when people snarkily criticize brand preference with the praise. You are just paying for the name. It seems perfectly reasonable to reply yes, and what's wrong with that? And what's wrong with that? You never really live who you are. The upside of down. Why failing well is the key to success, but we still aren't all that good at it, and the consistent consequences still go a long way toward modifying behavior. The 5-day weekend, freedom to make your life and work rich with a purpose. What's your plan for being more conscious about using these rituals throughout your day? Life either happens by design or default. You choose. One American English idiom. Give someone the slip. Make a getaway. The getaway. Put your dream to the test. 10 questions to help you see it and seize it. But much to her surprise, the woman for whom she had been making dresses came to her aid, each giving her what she could. Mastering the art of quitting. why it matters in life, love, and the work. Not unexpectedly, he also found that people who had higher level jobs, managers and supervisors, were in flow 64% of the time, as opposed to clerical workers and blue collar workers. After the salt, a treasure of inner wisdom. We create habits. We create We create the habits and the patterns because they serve us in some way. Improving reading skills. Contemporary readings for college students. That year, frustrated by his growing ambitions, R began to yearn for a medical machine, a super technical tool belt that would let him build whatever he wanted without worrying about all the real world practical limitation that stood between him and his imagination. 2020. To live is to learn. There is a difference between chronological time and mental time. Inspired destiny, living a fulfilling and purposeful life. Betrayal springs out of self-righteousness. My values are the right ones, so others ought to behave according to them. According to them. The revolutionary program to restore the body's natural ability to heal yourself. The Navitas Naturals brand is stocked in many health food stores. Data 101, a crash course in data management. Shopping around for a car loan at the same time or even before you look for a car can strengthen your bargaining position and lower the total long-term cost of the vehicle. You can be happy no matter what. We see the beauty in relationship, and we have a sense of perspective and wisdom. The intuitive mind, profiting from the power of your sixth sense, as far as confirmation and desirability biases are concerned. The lesson, both from the psychology lab and the real world, point to a number of ways in which they can be combated. Application number 10, guarding against feeble institution. We should actively seek to disconfirm our hypothesis, especially where we feel an emotional attachment to some desired future state, and be open to evidence both for and against it, no matter how desirable or beguiling the vision is. The female brain, sassy, witty, reassuring, and greater the fun. Bottom line, the bottom line, the transition through perimenopause can be a time of vulnerability to mood instability and irritability because of the brain's changes in estrogen and stress sensitivity. Depression can come out of the blue, even for women who'd never previously experienced it. Perimenopause. On speaking well, how to give a speech with style, substance, and clarity. The ones who do not unforgettable. For busy people, inner peace, 52 simple strategies for transforming your life. One summer, I needed a new outfit to make a presentation in Florida. Quiet to the Power, a guide for kids and teens from the best-selling Oaths of Quiet, The Secret Strengths of Introvert. It's a big group, and sometimes we try to put the more shy and introverted kids together when we do group activities, just so they realize there are other kids like them. Think Your Way to Wealth, the lost classic by the mastermind of success. Egotism and vanity not under control. Winners always quit. 7 pretty good habits you can swap for really great results. Knowing when to say no is not a once in a while thing. It's a daily winning habit. Mismeasuring our lives. Why GDP doesn't add up. In recent years, a number of statistical offices in the United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, Ireland, the Netherlands, and most recently, the United States have started surveys that measure various forms of social connection. The social connection. Amazing thing will happen. A real world guide on achieving success and the happiness. Punching the 9 to 5 time clock hasn't been squashed yet, but when do you get most of your work done? What's a joy to the one is a nightmare to the other. Get motivated, overcome any obstacle, achieve any goals, and accelerate your success with the motivational DNA. We enjoy promoting and producing events. The mentor leader, secret to building people with teams that win consistently. They had a squad full of leaders the coaches had prepared and empowered to fulfill their mission. The triumphant, turbulent stories behind how video games are made. They are going to be told by players, their personal legend built from shared adventures. Be happy. Release the power of happiness in you. The earth that is sufficient. I do not want constellations any nearer. I know they are very well where they are. I know they suffice for those who belong to them.